If you're feeling right now like everything's falling apart, if it seems like you've lost direction, if your energy is at zero, and there's a voice inside whispering, maybe it's time to quit, this video is for you. You're not broken. You haven't failed. You've just hit that part of the cycle nobody warned you about. And this isn't random. It's the system at work. You see, matter, the physical world we live in, it has one property. It resists change. It wants to keep you at your current level. It's dense, heavy, inert. When you try to grow, evolve, level up, matter pulls you back, like gravity. The higher you try to fly, the harder it pulls you down. And this isn't a metaphor. This is physics. In quantum mechanics, there are two states of reality: particle and wave. Particle is what's already manifested. Your current life, your problems, your limitations, everything material, frozen, dense. Wave is the field of possibilities, everything that could happen, but hasn't yet. Infinite potential, lightness, freedom. Most of the time, we live as particles, heavy, stuck, focused on matter, on problems, on lack, on what's not working. And you know what? There's a system that wants you to stay a particle. People call it different things. Some call it ego, some call it the subconscious, and some call it the 3D matrix. The 3D matrix is the three-dimensional reality we're stuck in. Its job is simple: keep you at your current level, make you believe you're limited, that you're just a body, just your past, just your problems. In the 3D world, time is linear. There's yesterday, today, tomorrow. You're constantly living either in regrets about the past or anxiety about the future. You're never here. You're always somewhere else. In the 3D world, you're a victim of circumstances. The world does something to you, and you just react. You survive. You struggle. You get tired. And when you try to break free, start a new business, change your life, grow, the matrix activates its defense mechanism. It starts breaking you. Not because it's evil, but because its job is stability. And most people give up at this point. They think, this is a sign. I'm not meant for this. And they return to the cage. But you're not here to give up. You're here to understand what's happening. And this video will give you a way to move forward, easily, consciously, knowing the rules of the game. Because there's another dimension, 5D, and you're already transitioning there, even if you don't know it yet. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever seen a straight line in nature? Constant growth without stops? Eternal summer? No, because nature works in cycles. The moon waxes and wanes. High tide gives way to low tide. Spring comes after winter. Day turns into night. You fall asleep and wake up. Your heart beats, contracts, and expands. Everything in nature pulsates, cyclically. Nothing moves in a straight line upward. And your life is part of nature. Why do you think it should be an exception? But here's what happens. We live in a culture that denies cycles. Constant growth, more, faster, higher, as if you're a machine that should work without stopping. And when the downturn comes, and it always comes, we panic. We think something's wrong with us, that we're broken, that we've failed. But a downturn isn't a mistake. It's a natural part of the cycle. It's not a fall, it's a correction. Look at the stock chart of any successful company. Apple, Tesla, Amazon. See those lines? They don't go straight up. They zigzag. Growth, pullback. Growth, pullback, but the overall trend? Upward. Every time stocks drop, inexperienced investors panic. They sell. They think it's over, and they lose money. But experienced investors know this is a correction, temporary. They hold their position or even buy more because they see the big chart, the long-term perspective. Your life works exactly the same way. And this isn't just a beautiful metaphor. This is about how energy works. Because the matter surrounding you, it resists. Matter is dense. It's slow. It wants to stay in place. When you try to speed up, change, grow, it pushes back on you. It says, no, stay here. It's safe. And most people listen. They think resistance is a sign they're going the wrong way. But actually, it's a sign they're going somewhere new. And matter is just doing what it does, resisting change. Your job isn't to fight it. Your job is to know it's temporary and endure.
Let's break down the anatomy of your life chart. Because if you don't understand what phase you're in, you'll make the wrong decisions. Phase 1, growth. You're on the rise. Everything's working. Energy's abundant. New opportunities open by themselves. People notice you. You feel, I'm on top. Finally, my life is working. In physics terms, you're becoming more wave than particle. You're light. You're in flow. You're not struggling. You're gliding. This is a beautiful state. But here's the trap of the 3D matrix. You start thinking, this will last forever. You forget about cycles. You think you've defeated gravity. And then comes phase 2. Phase 2, correction. Pullback. Energy drops. What worked stops working. Opportunities close. You feel tired, heavy, like someone turned off the lights. You become a particle again, dense, material, stuck. And here's what happens in your head. I've lost everything. I screwed up. This is the end. You start doubting, am I going the right way? Maybe this is a sign I should quit. You look at other people who are currently growing and think, why does it work for them but not for me? This is the trap. The 3D matrix whispers to you, you're not good enough. This isn't for you. Go back where it's safe. And most people at this moment break what they've built. They quit the project. They leave relationships. They change direction because they think correction is failure. But correction isn't failure. It's a reboot. It's the moment when the system reconfigures for the next level of growth. And then there's phase 3, the most insidious. Phase 3, consolidation. Plateau. Nothing's happening. No growth, no decline, just stagnation. You're doing the same actions, but there's no result. You're in the same place. It's boring. It's frustrating. You think, I'm stuck. Maybe it's time to look for something else where it'll be faster. But here's the truth. Consolidation is preparation. It's when energy accumulates before the next leap, like a compressed spring, like an athlete before a jump. You're not stuck, you're preparing. But the 3D matrix doesn't let you see this. It makes you focus on matter, on the fact that nothing's changing, on the fact that there's no result, and you want to quit. But if you know this is just a phase of the cycle, if you remember it's temporary, you don't panic. You just keep taking small steps and wait. Because after consolidation, new growth always comes. Always. The only question is, will you live to see it, or will you give up the day before the breakthrough?
Let's talk about the hardest phase, about correction, because this is where most people break. You're at the bottom, no energy, no motivation. It feels like everything you built is crumbling. And inside, there's a voice. It's all meaningless. Why did I even start? This isn't your voice. This is the voice of the 3D matrix. Its job is to return you to your previous level. It doesn't want you to grow, because growth means change, and change disrupts the system's stability. And it uses the most powerful weapon it has: matter. Remember, matter is density. It's what's already manifested. Your body, your circumstances, your problems, everything visible, tangible, heavy. When you're growing, you're light. You're more wave than particle. You're in flow. You don't feel the weight of matter. But in correction, matter returns. It becomes heavy. Your body's tired, your circumstances press down, your thoughts get stuck in negativity. You become a particle again. Dense, stuck, limited. And this isn't random. It's a defense mechanism. The 3D matrix makes matter heavy so you'll stop. So you'll think, maybe I shouldn't continue. But here's what's important to understand. Matter doesn't resist because you're going the wrong way. It resists precisely because you're going the right way. It's like gravity. The higher you fly, the harder it pulls you down. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't fly. It just means you need more energy to overcome gravity. And what do most people do? They think gravity is a sign. They give up, they fall back, and think, I guess it wasn't meant to be. But experienced people know this is just physics. This is just matter's resistance. It's temporary. You just need to endure. And here's what you need to do in correction. First, don't make serious decisions. When you're in correction, your brain works differently. It's in survival mode. It sees danger everywhere. It wants to run, fight, or freeze. If you make a decision in this state, you'll destroy what you built. You'll quit a project that would have taken off in a month. You'll leave relationships that would have improved in a week. Don't do it. Just acknowledge, I'm in correction. This is temporary. I'll just get through this. Second, reduce the load, but don't quit completely. You can't maintain the same pace as in the growth phase. You don't have the energy, and that's okay. Do less, but keep doing. Even 1% of what you did before, even 10 minutes a day. Not 0. Because if you stop completely, it'll be very hard to start again. But if you just slow down, you maintain momentum. And when energy returns, you'll continue from the same place. Third, activate your sources of inspiration. You should have a list. People, places, rituals, content, anything that returns your sense of meaning, that reminds you why you started. In correction, you forget. You don't see the big picture. You only see matter, problems, lack, pain. Your sources of inspiration are windows into another reality, into the reality of the wave, into the reality of possibilities, into the 5D dimension. Because here's the difference between 3D and 5D. In 3D, you're a victim of matter. You depend on circumstances. If everything's good, you're happy. If everything's bad, you're unhappy. But in 5D, you know matter is just one dimension. There's something else, the field of possibilities, the wave, and you can choose what to tune into. Correction is when matter speaks loudest. But your job isn't to listen only to it. Your job is to remember the wave, to remember that all this is temporary, that the big chart goes up, and endure.
Now I'll give you a practical tool. something that will save you in the next correction. Create yourself a correction first aid kit. A list of inspiration sources, your personal resources that restore your energy and meaning. Because here's what happens. When you're in correction, your brain doesn't work normally. You're in survival mode. You can't think clearly. You forget what helped you before. And if you don't have a ready list, you'll look for quick fixes. Eating, drinking, scrolling social media, anything that numbs the pain but doesn't heal. But if you have a list, you just open it and do it without thinking, just trusting. What should go in there? People. Who supports you unconditionally? Not those who give advice, not those who judge, but those who are just there, who say, "I believe in you. You'll make it." One conversation with such a person can change everything because they return you from matter to wave, from 3D to 5D. They remind you that you're more than your circumstances. Places. Where do you restore yourself? Where do you feel like yourself? Maybe it's nature, maybe your room, maybe a cafe where you love to sit with a book. Matter affects you, and the right place can shift your energy, change your frequency, take you from survival mode to creation mode. Rituals. What do you do to return to yourself? Meditation, running, music, dancing, shower, journaling. You should have a way to get out of your head and back into your body. Because in correction, you get stuck in thoughts. You loop the same thing. You panic. Rituals return you to the moment, to now. And this is important, because in the 5D dimension, there's no time. There's only the moment, here and now. Content. What books, videos, podcasts inspire you? What reminds you of your mission, of why you're here? In correction, you forget. You only see problems. But the right word, the right idea, can turn the light back on. They give you perspective back. They remind you, this is temporary. The big chart goes up. And memories. When have you already gone through something difficult and come out? What victories do you already have? In correction, it feels like you've always been here, like you were never on the rise. But this is matter's lie. This is the 3D trap. Look back. You've already overcome difficulties. You've already come out of correction. You're stronger than you think. And here's what's important. Create this list now, while you have energy, while you can think clearly. Because when correction comes, and it will come, you won't have the strength to think. You'll just need to open the list and do it, step by step, without thinking, just trusting. This is your lifeline, your way back from matter to wave, from 3D to 5D.
Now about the most important thing, about what separates people who achieve something from those who give up. It's not talent, not luck, not connections. It's patience, the ability to play the long game. Look again at the stock chart. Apple, Amazon, Tesla, what do they have in common? They all grew for decades. And in each of those decades, there were corrections, drops of 20%, 30%, even 50%. Moments when everyone thought, that's it, the company's done. But those who held the stock, who didn't sell in panic, who believed in the long-term perspective, they became millionaires. And those who sold at every correction, who chased quick profits, who jumped from one thing to another, they lost everything. What's the difference? The ability to see the big chart. Your life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. No, not even a marathon. It's an infinite game. And in this game, the winner isn't the fastest, it's the most sustainable. The one who can continue when everyone else gave up. The 3D matrix wants you to think short-term, results now, fast, otherwise it's a failure. But the 5D dimension works differently. In 5D, there's no linear time, no yesterday and tomorrow. There's only the moment, and every moment is a choice. You choose a small step, again and again, and these steps don't add up linearly, they compound exponentially. There's a formula, 1% improvement every day. Sounds insignificant, right? Just 1%. What will that give? But calculate it. If you improve 1% every day for a year, you become 37 times better. 37 times, not 365%, but 37 times. Because it's not addition, it's multiplication, compound interest. But here's the trap. The first 100 days, you barely see a difference. The growth curve is flat. It seems like nothing's happening. This is the consolidation phase. And most people quit right here. They think, this isn't working, and they leave. But those who continue, who do that 1% even when they don't see results, they hit the tipping point, when the curve shoots up and growth becomes exponential. Small steps beat big leaps, because big leaps can't be sustained. You'll leap once, twice, 3 times, and burn out. But small steps can be done infinitely, even in correction, even when there's no energy, even when you don't believe. And that's exactly what's needed, because matter resists big changes. It activates protection. It breaks you. But small changes? They slip past the defenses. They don't trigger resistance. And gradually, imperceptibly, they transform everything. This is playing the long game. Not chasing quick results, not panicking at correction, just continuing, small steps, day after day. And in 5 years, you'll look back and not recognize yourself, not because one big change happened, but because 1,000 small ones did. And the big chart of your life? It's going up.
Now let's talk about what this all really means. We talked about cycles, about charts, about corrections. But that's all 3D language, matter's language. I used it so you'd understand the mechanics, but real change doesn't happen in matter, it happens in consciousness. Because everything we talked about is about the transition from 3D to 5D dimension. What is 3D? It's the reality of matter, the reality of the particle, the reality where you're a body, where you're limited, where time is linear, where you're a victim of circumstances. In 3D, you're constantly living either in the past or the future. You regret what was or fear what will be. You're never here, in the moment. In 3D, you identify with matter. I am my body. I am my job. I am my problems. I am my past. And when matter becomes heavy, you think that's you being heavy. When circumstances are bad, you think that's your life being bad. This is the trap. This is the cage. Invisible, but real. And what is 5D? It's the reality of consciousness. The reality of the wave. The reality where you're more than a body. Where you're a field of possibilities. Where there's no time.
where you're a creator. In 5D, you live in the moment, here and now, not in regrets about the past, not in anxiety about the future, just here, in this breath, in this instant. In 5D, you know you're not matter. Matter is just one of your manifestations, but you are the consciousness observing matter. You are the wave that sometimes becomes a particle. And when matter is heavy, when circumstances are difficult, you don't identify with them. You know, this is temporary. This is correction. The big chart goes up.
And here's how you transition from 3D to 5D. Not through changing circumstances, not through fixing matter, but through changing how you perceive it. Through awareness. Awareness is the ability to observe without identifying. You see your thoughts, but you know, this isn't me. These are just thoughts. You feel emotions, but you know, this isn't me. These are just emotions passing through me. You see circumstances, but you know, this isn't my life. This is just a temporary configuration of matter. And in this awareness, you become free, because you're no longer stuck in matter. You're no longer a particle. You're a wave observing how the particle moves. And there's a practice that makes this possible. Meditation. Not as a ritual, not as a relaxation technique, but as a way to return to yourself, to who you really are. When you meditate, you leave the external world for the internal. You disconnect from matter, from noise, from chaos, and dive into silence. And in this silence, you start to hear, not thoughts, not emotions, but something deeper, what's always been here, your true self. In the 3D world, your attention is constantly directed outward, at people, at problems, at things. You give your energy to the world, and the world controls you. But in meditation, you take your attention back. You return your energy to yourself. And in this moment, you exit survival mode, exit particle mode. You become the wave. And in this state, there's no time, no past, no future. There's only the moment, infinite, eternal moment, here and now. And this isn't abstract. This is the most real thing you can feel, because the moment is the only thing that actually exists. The past is gone, the future isn't here yet. There's only this instant, and in this instant, you have everything. This is the 5D dimension, not a physical place, not another planet, but another state of consciousness. A state where you don't depend on matter, where you're not a victim of circumstances, where you remember, you're a wave, an infinite field of possibilities. And every time you return to the moment, when you dive inward, when you observe without identification, you transition to 5D. This isn't a one-time transition. It's a journey. You'll slide back into 3D again and again, because matter pulls, because habits are strong. But every time you return, you become stronger. You train a new muscle, the muscle of awareness. And gradually, 5D becomes your home, and 3D is just a place you sometimes visit.
So let's bring it all together. Cycles are real. Growth, correction, consolidation. This isn't a bug. This is how life works. Matter resists. It wants to keep you at your current level. That's its nature. Don't fight it. Just know it's temporary. The 3D matrix is a system that wants to keep you a particle, heavy, stuck, dependent on the external. But you're transitioning to 5D, to a dimension where you're a wave, where you're consciousness, where there's no time, only the moment. And this transition doesn't happen through changing circumstances, but through changing how you perceive them, through awareness, through presence, through returning to the moment. And here's what you need to do. First, notice the cycles. Keep a journal. Mark when you're in growth, when in correction, when in consolidation. Learn to recognize patterns. Because when you know what phase you're in, you don't panic, you just understand, this is correction. It'll pass. Second, don't break what you built. In correction, don't make serious decisions. Don't quit projects. Don't end relationships. Just get through it. Reduce the load, but don't stop completely. Even 1% action is better than 0. Third, use your inspiration sources. Open your first aid kit. Call the person who supports you. Go to the place that restores you. Do the ritual that returns you to yourself. Don't wait until it gets easier. Start now, because it'll only get easier after you start. Fourth, play the long game. Small steps, every day, even when you don't see results. Especially when you don't see results. Because results will come, not immediately, not linearly, but they will come. And it will be exponential growth.
Fifth, return to the moment. Meditate. Breathe. Dive inward. Disconnect from the noise. Take your attention from the external world. Because in the moment, there are no problems. In the moment, there's no time. In the moment, there's only you. And that's all you need. Listen, your life isn't a straight line. It's a chart with ups and downs. And that's normal. This isn't a mistake. This is the design. The secret isn't avoiding correction. The secret is not breaking during it. The secret is remembering you're more than circumstances, you're more than matter. You're a wave, an infinite field of possibilities. And every time you return to the moment, when you choose awareness, when you take a small step, even when it's hard, you transition from 3D to 5D. You exit the matrix. You become free. In 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, you'll look at your chart and you'll see the trend is up. Not because there were no falls, there were, but because you didn't give up. You continued small steps day after day. And that's all that matters. Don't quit at correction. You're closer than it seems. The big chart goes up. You're already on the path. You're already transitioning. Just keep going. Breathe. Return to the moment and take the next step. That's all you need.